From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Tina Provis. If you watch Love Island Australia, you may recognise me, or you might not because I'm fully clothed today.
I mean, or is she? Watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
You guys don't know if
Yeah.
you're listening. You and I didn't see each other last night, but we were both at the same very fun event.
Yes, we were at Prime Book Club. Very exciting. The cast of The Summer I Turned Pretty, as well as Mercedes Ron, who is the author of the Culpables trilogy. So it was a very exciting night.
I haven't actually watched the series that's based on her books, but I was watching all the teasers on the screen before she came out, and I was like, sorry, is this about sexy step siblings hooking up? I feel like I need to watch that.
Yes, you need to watch it. I also love that there was a question around whether it was taboo or not. She's like, I don't think so.
Oh, no, she took – yeah, I loved her answer that. She's like, no, they're not related. Case closed.
And
I was
defensive.
like – yeah. And I was like, it's true. They're not related. We all draw a line in the sand. So, yes, we had Jenny Han, who's the author of The Summer I Turned Pretty books. Well, many other books, but those in particular. She's also the showrunner and creator of the series. Like, that woman is so multi-talented.
So impressive. I think it's really interesting as well to see that she dips her toes into both formats of writing, and I think that's why the series has been so successful because the characters have such strong voices that she's created for them.
Yeah, I love when the author gets to actually control the show because then it's their vision coming through. So we also had Lola Tung, who plays Belly, and Rain Spencer, who plays Taylor in the series. So they were doing press the day before. You interviewed them, right?
Yes,
How was
yes.
that?
Oh my God.
Are they nice in real life? You can tell us.
They are so lovely. I felt like when I was interviewing Rain Spencer and Lola Tung that I was talking to their characters, because you've got Lola, like so sweet, very like Belly-esque, you know, like airy, lovely. And then Rain is kind of sassy.
Yeah.
And like has that like really like quick, witty sense of humor, which kind of felt reminiscent of their characters.
Yeah.
I was feeling very starstruck.
Oh my God. Yeah, they do really, they are exactly the same person as their characters in a way. I guess that's the casting, especially if you're casting like young actors in their first big breakout roles, to get someone who's kind of similar to the couple, to the people they're playing. If anyone hasn't watched The Summer I Turned Pretty, we're not going to do spoilers, but we're in the third and final season now. We're 4 episodes in, and it's about Lola Tung's character, Belly, who turns hot one summer, really.
Yeah.
I know, The Summer I Turned
her.
Pretty, I'm still waiting. I know everyone makes that joke, but I was like, when will that happen?
Still waiting.
And then she goes to the summer house in the first season where these like 2 families spend every summer together, and there's these 2 brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah, and she kind of has, it's a love triangle between the 3 of them.
It's very heated, and the fans are really dedicated to the cause, as am I. I can speak on behalf of the fans.
Yeah. Did you see that warning they put out before this season started? Like, the studio behind the show put out a warning saying, guys, we know you're all really passionate, Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah, but let's keep it nice, let's keep it civil, let's not bully actors or people online. And a lot of people did not take that to heart.
It gets heated, and I feel like I have a very strong opinion. I don't think there's really any contest. I'm a very Team Conrad.
Okay. Oh, you're Team Conrad? No, okay, no.
What?
No, I do have something
Where
to say
are you going
on
with this?
So at the Prime Video Book Club event last night, they had like we like walked in, there was like the stage.
Yes.
We watched the actors and Jenny Han and authors and stuff come up on stage and do their speeches and everything. And then did you go upstairs to the installations?
Yes. Did a little hot lap around there.
Yeah, all the little kind of photo moments and everything. And it's so funny because they had all these little things set up to look like you're in Cousins Beach and all that sort of stuff. But there was this big rack of flowers on the way out. Yeah. So the top row was red flowers for Team Conrad. The middle section was sunflowers, I think it was, for Team Jeremiah. And then the bottom was the hydrangeas for Team Belly. And the idea was like you took a flower to symbolize which team you're on.
Look, if Belly chooses herself, I'm going to be angry. Let's just get that straight.
I think they're not going to do that. Which flower did you pick?
So, funny story. I actually went in hot and I didn't realize. I thought I was going in strongly for Conrad.
Oh.
So I picked up a sunflower, and then the girl who was manning the flowers was like, wait, that's
had
Jeremiah, as if she knew my type. She knew I'd picked wrong. There was fear in my eyes. I have a recording of the moment. I was like, no.
And what did you throw the flower back?
Yes.
Oh
I put that flower back
that was
so
the
quickly
saddest
before you
thing
could
because
blink.
we went like towards the end of the night and then I saw like most of the Conrad flowers picked clean gone. The Belly flowers half gone. The Jeremiah flowers in the middle untouched. I don't think anyone took a Jeremiah flower.
That's a survey.
It's such a... Okay, so here's something I'll only say in this room, so you're Team Conrad.
Yes.
Which I can't... Oh, well, to be honest,
What are you about to say? This is a hot take.
Something I'm only going to say in this room because I'll get crucified if I step outside into the office. So up until now, I've sort of haven't had strong feelings about Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah because they've both got a lot of faults. But if you had to ask me, it would be Team Conrad all the way.
Okay, cool.
Until I left the event last night and I went home and watched the new episode that came out.
I haven't done
episode.
It yet. No.
Okay, no spoilers, but
it's my
afternoon
homework.
And I kind of think maybe I'm Team Jeremiah now, just from that one episode.
That's how you know Jenny Han is a god, because we're conflicted.
I know. I feel like I'll get like stoned in the streets if I say that loud because people hate him.
I will stone.
You're like, I'm going to
It'll be me with the stone. Yeah.
Tina leaves for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. In this episode, he was very charming. He was very adult. Conrad was coming across as very like, I don't know.
He's petty, but I kind of like the sass.
Sad boy thing going on, which is kind
the
of
angst.
Sometimes we do love the angst.
We do.
And sometimes Jeremiah does feel like a little pixie leprechaun boy. Like he doesn't feel like
it's very like
marry.
Twilight love triangle.
Yes.
You've got like your Edward Cullen and your Jacob. Because were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Jacob. No, I actually up until the moment when I was first reading the book.
You're swayed. They like pull you over.
I just something about even just
something about a nice man.
Something about a nice hot younger man. I don't know. I guess both of them are the younger ones. No, when I was reading the Twilight books, I just was getting so angry at Edward the whole way through. This is because I read them as like a young adult. Like I think I was like early, I was like 19 or something.
I was a child.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're supposed to love Edward when you're like a young teen or a tween.
And as you get better.
Older, yeah.
I still don't know better.
Exactly. I don't know. I would still date a sad man.
Yeah. I'll take either.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like every generation has like their big love triangle story. And even though like stats say that mostly like teen shows are watched by adults.
Yes, that is something that I've been looking at over the past week, which has really led me to feel validated. Yeah. You know, as a nearly 30-year-old woman, I can watch The Summer I Turned Pretty and not feel guilty about it. But it does have that like very like nostalgic feeling, and it's something you can all like relate to. I mean, I don't know if I've had two hot brothers chasing after me, but
Lucinda Price Frooms on Insta and the socials, who was hosting the event last night, did like a quick poll of the audience. So she's like, has anyone been in love with two brothers? And it was just like silence.
Yes.
So I was like, either it doesn't happen or no one wants to admit it.
We want it to happen.
So, okay. Well, I might change Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah before the end of the season. We still have many eps to go. So it's on Prime Video if you haven't watched it. Highly recommend for a sexy teen summer romance.
If you haven't watched it yet, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Let's jump in to unpack the unexpected celebrity couples that have been popping up and definitely were not on my 2025 bingo card. It's definitely left fans feeling equal parts confused and invested. We can kick off with the speculations between Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. It's definitely unexpected, but it's not totally unbelievable to me. I'm like, two young, hot people. Like, I see that for them.
Yeah, hot people are drawn to each other, and I love that for them. And I guess we're coming off the back of Zoe Kravitz ending her engagement to Channing Tatum, and then Austin Butler breaking up with Kaya Gerber after they'd been together for many years. I've got to say, this is one I'm kind of on the fence a little bit about, because the photos of them kissing, where they're like really going to kissing, are them filming their scene.
It looks like it's on set.
Yeah, it's on the set. They're just filming out the streets of New York. It's for their new movie, Caught Stealing. So I saw that and I was like, well, that's a set photo. But then it's the photos when they went to a play and they're standing kind of in the lobby, and I think people are just kind of filming them very covertly, so you can't really see, where it looks like they're kind of, there's no other word for it. It looks like they're canoodling. Recording. But there's other people from the set there, like the director's there and the cast is there. So like, was it just like a group?
And
like
I can imagine you become really close when you are in that setting where your job is to canoodle on a daily basis. So you would naturally have that like chemistry with each other. I'm not 100% convinced that they're a couple, but I wouldn't be surprised if there'd been like a casual hook up in between.
I feel like Zoe Kravitz sometimes loves just a dumb guy though, and I feel like Austin Butler's doesn't come across as dumb. He comes across as like overly pretentious and artsy, but then she likes a guy like that as well. I don't know. I feel like she's an equal opportunist just to date whoever comes along.
I mean, so fair of her. If Austin Butler came along, I wouldn't be opposed. I also love for her that the rumors kind of have come up, because I know Channing Tatum recently like has been spotted with his new partner, which is a 25-year-old model, Australian model actually.
Yeah, I mean,
typical.
again, no, good on her. No shade to her. But of course, like this man who's like, he's like nearly 50 is dating a 25-year-old.
Let's surprise us in new ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's overdone.
So they haven't, so Zoe and Austin haven't said anything about the dating, but like there's been all these like little plants of like sources say they're just friends. So I wonder
Love
if like
that,
someone
as close sources.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen that the sources say it's not serious. So they're like, well, is it casual? Give us more details.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a source,
I'm sure
give us more.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's loving like a bit of extra promo for the movie.
Totally.
So the other more unexpected couple that I feel like no one saw coming is Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau.
Oh my God. I feel like Katy Perry's having her comeback this year. It's been a busy year for Katy Perry this year. She was in space. Now she's seen with a former prime minister. Like, what is next for our girl Katy?
Yeah, exactly. So she was with Orlando Bloom for close to 10 years. They're engaged. They have a little girl called Daisy Dove Bloom, which out of all the celeb baby names, I'm quite into that one. And they did release a statement saying that they were splitting up but co-parenting. She's talked about the breakup on stage a little bit, but haven't really gone into detail of what happened between her and Orlando. And then these photos came out in Montreal of her and Justin Trudeau, and they're on TMZ, and so they're obviously taken without consent, so it's not great, but skirting past that, it's like they're in this restaurant, they're in this kind of private area, and it's almost looked like the way someone's taken the photos, they're filming like the glass ceiling above where you can see the reflection.
I think it's really interesting. Apparently, they are school friends. So they have a little bit of history, I think, but if you said someone's name that I went to school with, I would remember. So, you know, how close were their circles?
Had the school friends connection.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, unless I've just like started a rumor.
No, let's start a rumor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they must have. So I know they kind of move in some similar circles in terms of just like being rich, powerful people.
Yeah, she's been to space. I'm sure she has.
Surely there's a group chat for that. Yeah. So it's got to the stage where their night out, their date night, has been tracked really intently. So Entertainment Tonight actually did like a full like map and a tracking, and like they went to each venue and got like different notes on what they had done and said.
I love that.
So I know this is the kind of, I mean, people say journalism is dead, and to that I say, just look at this graph.
Look at the facts.
So they had a 2-hour dinner. That was their first stop, and they ate. So they contacted the restaurant to get information on exactly what they ate. So they had tuna, which for a date,
tuna?
I don't know.
Is it like sashimi tuna?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't get those details, so maybe journalism is dead.
I think like a raw tuna is date food because it's very delicate. You can pick at it.
True.
I would pick a tuna.
I was more thinking
a tin.
Yeah, maybe. I was maybe more thinking the smell, but maybe it's fine. It's a very fancy restaurant. Then they had beef tartare, lobster, and pasta. And the person who they talked to at the restaurant, who maybe didn't know that their comments were on the record and going viral, was really strict of saying there was no PDA at all. It was a PDA-free dinner.
Sounds like they do know. It sounds like they were briefed to say that.
But I think also they were sitting out in like an open plan thing, and like you could decide maybe if they were having a romantic dinner, they were just very aware that if they wanted to kiss and hold hands, that wasn't the
And
place.
you're at dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know how much canoodling you can do at dinner.
That's true. Well, they moved on then to their second location, which was a nightcap. So they ended the night with a cocktail on the terrace of this kind of fancy fancy bar. And apparently Katy had a Canadian whiskey. Again, journalism.
Oh my God, the detail. Now, I think this is entering date territory.
Yes.
Going from dinner to like drink, it sounds like you start with the dinner because you don't know whether you want to continue on for the drink. And if the date goes well, then you go for your Canadian whiskey.
Exactly. Well, if you think that sounds like a date, strap in for this next part, because the next part also, who's following them? Then they went on a walk. Oh no, sorry. I've got the timeline wrong. They did this first. The first time they were spotted was on a walk in the park. So it was Justin, Katy
on the same day.
Yeah, on the same day. So obviously the walk went really well. So then they went to dinner. Then they went to the nightcap. Then they disappeared. But so Justin and Katy went on a walk with her dog Nugget. I would love Nugget's thoughts on this. I
want one dog called Chicken and one dog called Nugget.
Oh, that'd be really cute. Send that to Katy Perry. I feel like she'd love that. She'd love that.
Yeah.
Nugget went on a 90-minute walk through the Mount Royal Park.
Okay, Nugget.
So
that's a long walk for a little Nugget.
I'd love to hear what Nugget thought, because Nugget would have heard their whole conversation and is really our only reliable witness.
Yeah, we
to
need
this
his
situation.
Word. That's so interesting. This gives now. I don't know if this is a first date.
That's well, I don't know.
Like, is she getting ready after was there an intermission?
Well, again, they haven't provided those facts. But I'm thinking, so the walks during the day, so maybe it was just a casual, like, let's meet up for a walk. They walk for 90 minutes. which is quite a long time to be having like a first kind of date conversation. I also think a walk is like quite a good first date thing. I love a walk and a drink. I feel like a dinner is sometimes too much for a first date.
I think a walk and then you can have like an afternoon drink somewhere is quite nice. Sometimes I do like dinner because I'm quick to judge, but if I'm at dinner, I can't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
So
then
I have to
kind
give
of
them a
locked
shot.
in for the night.
Yeah.
At least on a walk, you can kind of peter off and you're like kind of there's movement.
I'm just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You run away.
Exactly. You can just leave. So they did a walk, a drink, a dinner, and then they were kind of they went out of sight. Then they couldn't track them. I feel like that sounds like a full date day.
This is a date.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say
I think we can claim it.
I feel like it's a real couple then. I was kind of on the fence, but now I feel maybe.
I think it's a real couple. I just think in what world would they be hanging out as friends doing these date-like activities? So I definitely think it's date territory.
Yeah. And he's not that fresh off like his divorce with his wife as well.
Yeah, it's only a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And
I'm on board.
She's freshly divorced. Maybe they're bonding. Maybe they're rebounding together.
Exactly. And I've seen people comment and say like, oh my God, Katy Perry's just broken up with Orlando and she's jumping into a new relationship. I'm like, guys, do you think they broke up on the day and then
we found out first?
Yes. Like, I feel like they've been broken up for many months and then they released the statement.
Totally. I think we're the last to get the news.
Exactly. So I hope those guys have a lovely next date and I look forward to Nugget's tell-all.
I look forward to the timeline.
Stage.
Yeah.
And then our other unexpected couple, guys, things come in threes, is Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
I never thought their social spheres would touch. Like, they just feel like two complete opposites, but I'm invested in this one. I think it's so sweet. I'm here for it.
I feel like a couple of years ago they would have made more sense because they were both like big Hollywood actors.
Yeah.
They both kind of seem to run the same circles, but Liam Neeson he talks about like kind of being out of Hollywood and off the grid especially since his late wife Natasha Richardson so tragically died. I know, I feel like his kids with her say they watched The Parent Trap when they missed their mum because that was the character that was most close to her real personality.
That's how I think of her.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. I just imagine she would be very close to that in real life. That's so sweet that her kids watch that.
Isn't that cute? So she died after a very tragic skiing accident. So he sort of talked about retreating from Hollywood, being there for his kids, and then like obviously working when he has to. And then Pamela Anderson obviously had that huge kind of was shunned from Hollywood for a while, had a really terrible breakup from Tommy Lee. And then she moved to like a little island off Canada, I think, and was like renovating a house and was like,
I love that for her.
Yeah, exactly. And then she did a documentary about renovating her house, which was great as well. But, she looks so makeup free, like, stress free.
She looks stunning at the moment. Yeah, gorgeous. I think it's just interesting their dating histories as well, which you touched on. I mean, she's been married 5 times and he's had his one relationship, which I guess, he's been off the grid for a while in the dating scene. And having like Pam Anderson, Baywatch, sex symbol, 90s icon, and then you've got the very stoic, like, I just think of Taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, if I get in trouble, I'm going to call Liam Neeson.
Yes.
I just feel like Pamela Anderson just comes across as like an absolute hopeless romantic, which is why she's been married so many times. Like, she just wants to find love.
And I see that. And I think it's not totally surprising that they would get along because obviously she's very intelligent. She's an activist. There's like more behind her just being like this sex symbol.
Yeah.
And they just look really sweet. I'm really glad that this one has been confirmed.
It has been confirmed. It took me a while to sort of get on board with it because obviously they're starring together in The Naked Gun. Yeah. And that's a huge thing where they're saying like it could be the movie that brings back this type of comedy, which went to streaming for a while but could potentially come back to cinemas. And so there's a lot riding on this movie. So all these photos came out of them at like press events, half like kissing and hugging, but
it feels like there's so much of that at the moment.
Yeah, doing that kind of like pre-press for a movie has to be between
like
characters.
Everyone seems to have this off-screen chemistry, which is going beyond the film conveniently at the time of the press tours. I think the reason I believe it more is looking at their age. I just would like to think that by that point they're like, let's just be together.
I know. I kind of want. It's so funny. I also think that they're playing into it in a huge way.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you feel like potentially the cast is like they're a bit in on the joke, but not completely. Whereas the first images that came out, it was so clearly a publicity stunt. The way they were posing on the red carpet, and then they're doing all these little kind of like they're doing interviews, and the camera pans to them, and they pretend to hug and like pull away. So like they're in on the joke. But then a few interviewers have been because they did like the morning show rounds in America and stuff like that for the movie. And one interviewer was like, so you guys an item? And it was so funny because Pamela Anderson, she just looks so shocked. And then Liam Neeson gets like a dad voice. And he's like, come on now, come on. And he's like not even mad, he's just disappointed. And then he's like, he does this roundabout thing where he's like, we've got the sense of an idea of a vibe that we're cultivating.
Oh my God,
and
this sounds
seeing
like
where it goes.
Sounds like a conversation I've had.
You're like, how do I say we're dating but not dating?
It would be so hard to navigate that because I think when I'm in the early stages of seeing someone, I'm not going to tell my parents. So I can imagine why they don't want to tell the
whole world. But then they're on press. So it was just funny. I was like, wow, Liam Neeson being disappointed in your question would just cut so deep. Pamela Anderson's just laughing. She looks so shocked. But then that same night, they're kissing on a red carpet.
You can't be shocked. Surely not. They were like, this question was not approved.
Yeah, exactly. You can definitely tell it wasn't. You can see Liam Neeson's like trying to like de-escalate the situation.
Rein it in.
But then gives a non-answer and basically says that like their chemistry is amazing and they're just seeing where it goes. And then they're like to Pamela, what was the best thing about working on the movie? And she's like, the script and him. And then she kind of like runs away on a red carpet.
Now I don't know how I feel. I thought it was really sweet before. Yeah. I wanted to give him a happy ending.
I know. I think maybe when the promo stuff started, they maybe weren't dating, even though the movie was filmed a while ago, but maybe now they are. People said they're dating and they had confirmed with multiple sources, and usually people only does that if they have confirmed with like directly with their manager.
Yeah, right. I think from early on he had said in an interview he's in love with her, but this was prior to like any
before he'd met her.
Prior to the rumors because he started the rumors.
Yeah. I just, at the end of the day, like I think they're both acting a little too innocent. It's like, you know, like they may be dating, but I'm like, in terms of promo, I'm like, you guys know exactly what you're doing.
And you've been around long enough to know that people are going to be asking questions.